Hey guys, it's Tommy here and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a park review of Asia Park. This was created by NH99SVW. I have looked at two of his other parks. I've looked at Pirate Park with Underground Dark Ride, and I've looked at Alpen Park. Two really good creations. And then he let me know that this Asia Park was finished, so decided I wanted to have a quick look around here. I mean, as you can see straight away, you can see the detail and the realism. I've just flicked to night time here, just so you can get a sense of what this place looks like at night. As I go around, I will sort of flick between night and day, just so we can have a bit of a bit of an all-round experience looking at the park. In terms of the description is my third park on Planet Coaster. This time it's Asian themed. I tried to build as realistic as possible. Asia Park includes three main attractions: Buddha, which is a hybrid coaster and Thai themed, Speed, which is a launch coaster and Arabian themed, and Mount Fuji, which is a log flume and is Japanese themed. And additionally there are 5 flat rides as well. And he also mentions that he spent a lot of time on the lighting and the music, so which you can see straight away here. So we'll bear that in mind as we go around, just to make sure that we get the full sort of experience. So we shall go back down to the entrance. I'll flip back to daytime for this, I think. And what we'll do here is just take a ride in. So straight off the bat, you've got the main entrance here, Yokoso, which I'm assuming is Japanese or for welcome. So there you go. That's something I've learnt today. Very nice style building, using the roof and the building materials from the World's Fair pack. I do love these buildings with the curved roof on. I think they look really they are really simple to place because they are just one piece, but they just look fantastic and they really do make a building stand out. Really nice little turnstiles here. What are these actually made out of? Let's just have a look. From a pickaxe, so there you can see the axe is hidden in there. Really nicely themed turnstile there. Got a few bits of plants and some decoration up here. Of course, you've got the huge dragon on top of the fountain as you come out. The plaza looks really sort of wide and welcoming. It's got different flooring types here that are merged together. Yeah, really nice sort of start here. We shall go. Let's have a look at Bonsai first over here. So Bonsai. Again, we've got more fountains, lots of different colours with the plants. Bonsai is a restaurant. So we've got a bit of a fast food service restaurant in here. Nice seating. I love how there's a roof inside the building as well. I think that looks really smart, really neat. The tables as well. Everything is perfectly lined up and designed to match the area. Nothing kind of looks out of place, especially these plants on the tables. And obviously you've got the speakers at the top here, whether you can pick up that music there. But having the speakers along the top really sort of sets the mood for the park. And but obviously if you're down at guest level, you don't necessarily, if you're looking around there, you don't necessarily see them that much. So nicely hidden away speakers. And then really nice windows over here. I like that on the building. You've got toilets through these doors. That's the thing about the toilets on Planet Coasters. I don't think the toilets alone look very nice as a standout building. So if you can cover them up like that and still make them sort of functional, I mean, these guys are going to use them. There you go. I think they work really well. And then here you've got kitchen, which I'm assuming is what's this? Is this a staff room? Yeah, there we go, staff building. So really nice little restaurant there to start off with. Bonsai. If we go out down here, we've got the bonsai menu. That's a nice use of the floor the floor menu. So these are normally the boards you'd have outside the shops, but really nicely hidden away to make it look like a authentic menu piece. And then we shall go over to this gift shop. See, I love these T-shirts. I know I've seen these in these other parks, and to be fair, I think they look spot on. Oh, I'm probably off the gift shop there. Yeah, I think they absolutely look spot on and look so, you know, so authentic to have in these sorts of shops. Again, you've got the different decorations, and it's about using the sort of scenery objects that would work in a shop. So again, like spiders and skulls and dragons, etc. They all work really well. I mean, the shops don't necessarily have to be, you know, selling them, but it's just for the overall aesthetic. So we shall leave there and go to the 4D cinema. So we got family fun 15 minutes, cinema 2 at those times, and action in 10 minutes. Dragon of Kyoto and Sekigahara, I think is how you say that. Apologies if not. So this is going to be interesting because you can't put a cinema in this game, so I'm intrigued to see what this looks like. So let's go to cinema 1. Oh wow, that's cool. That's a nice little layout. You've got the projector there. See, this would be really good if they could ever release a DLC with a cinema in. Because a lot of theme parks around the world that use cinemas and motion simulators as rides, and yeah, I mean this just looks quality in here. I really like that. Nice use of the chairs as well. It's yeah, good choice of seating in there. And we'll go into the other cinema. Again, you got the same in here. Yeah, really like that. It would be nice to have videos playing in here, but unfortunately on console we don't get the videos, so yeah, we have to sort of make do without it. But hopefully one day we can get videos in the game. But again, in here, the decoration going around, you know, even down to these bits of decorative, what do they call it? A barrack decorative trim, or baroque. And you know, every little piece in here just looks so authentic. So I think that's the 4D cinema. We've then got a sweet shop. Again, candy canes. Oh wow, these are good. I mean, these are, I'm assuming, supposed to be like I mean, I've seen all sorts. You can either have jelly beans in these. I've seen them in the M&M store in London. You can have them like these, or all sorts. But that looks really authentic. Make your own mix. I do like that. That's a very nice piece of realism there. Yeah, very, very clever. And then, going out from there, we have it's a central building. Got some shops in it. Does it have anything inside? It's got some buildings, and some doorways to the back of the shop. I think this is this just like I think this is just like a bit of a communal area to walk through, isn't it? And a bit of a path round. Again, there's a lot of shops, etc. off the side of this building, but it's a way to blend in. It's a way to blend in so many shops without it, you know, without them taking up more of a footprint. And the building itself blends in really nice as well. It's a really nice looking building with lots of, you know, decoration here, and using some of the pieces from the vintage pack as well that seem to fit really nice. Then if we go down here to the left, because I think that's the way we'll go around the park, we have chow mein, or chow mein. Again, a lot of different food options down here for the guests, and then you've got the seating area just outside, a few tables. It's over here. So Speed, Buddha, and Mount Fuji. So they're the three main attractions that were mentioned in the description. Asia Park. Right, so now we get to our first area of the park. Oh, handyman's just sorting out the bin. First area of the park. this is a bit like a bazaar style layout, a bit like Morocco. That sort of vibe I'm getting off here. Meat skewers, like an Arabian style theme. So what's this ride we got here then? This is Genie, which I believe is I think it's what it is called in the game, to be fair. I think these are also known as disco if they're not sort of themed to a Genie style. But I think that these are really good flat rides. They're very, very nice to theme because of their shape. However, it works fantastically in this part, nothing wrong with it in this part. My bugbear with this flat ride is that it has to be this sort of style ride because it's got the lamp on. You can't, it's very tricky to theme it under anything else. But the whole area itself, look, so you can see here the entrance to Genie. So you've got a very, very nice sort of, I love this sort of circular section there that it hangs in. I mean, that looks really nice. And then you've got the small walls here that separate everything. Look at these two with the masks. Yeah, really nicely decorated, really nicely blended in. I love the purple and the blue scheme here for the colours. I think that looks spot on. So yes, we shall carry on from there. We've got a fountain. We've got a staff-only door. Again, this is part of the realism, is that is all these staff-only entrances. It's a way to get the staff rooms in. And to be fair, I did see one on the overview that I didn't point out before. The back of this building here, at the entrance, you've got the bins and the staff section around the back. Now, if you zoom out, obviously the guests would only see these decorated buildings at the front. And then you've got the cinema, which is just like a flat building, but the guests won't see the shape of this building. So it doesn't have to be themed to an Asian style, which is really nice piece of realism. Again, you got bins here, you got canisters, materials. Yeah, but obviously this is all shut off from the guests. The guests will never come down here. This is off the back of this ride here. Obviously the guests will only ever go down that section. So we'll go back out here and back over to this section. So you got Asia Park there. Let's have a look at this section at night time. You can see there the colours they're like it's like a pink tinted lighting into pinky purple sort of tinted lighting. So very nice, very nice signage. And this is used, I think, throughout the park, looking at the entrance and this section. But the style of the writing there, it's just a really nice sign to why not use it over more than once, because it's worth it. Let's go over here then. So this is speed. So for this, I have been suggested times of day to view the rides to get the optimum experience. So for speed, I believe it is 3 PM. So we shall change it to 3 PM there, and we shall hop on. Now, straight away, what I can see here, the entrance to the queue actually starts within here, which is why everyone's walking up. But you see, one of the biggest pains for me is on the entrance. You have, as standard, you get like 2 metal cylinders, basically saying whether the ride's open or not, and they don't really blend in very well. You can see here he's covered this one up. But the fact that this guy who operates the entrance is stood in here means that it just looks really the guests just look like they're coming in here and just walking into the entrance of a normal ride. So again, it's hiding that that piece of scenery that wouldn't fit otherwise. Well, that's the fast pass queue. I'll just have a look at the normal queue in here. Some nice fountains wetting the ceiling there. It's a very busy ride, so I'm assuming the stats are quite high. Float in here. Again, more of a cattle pen queue going slightly down the hill. And we get down to the station. So, this is speed. And speed is. Oh, I'm selecting the building there. Speed. There we go. There's the stats for it. I mean, that's as close to green across the board as you're going to get with 6 just there. It's so close to being green. There's the results for it. Absolutely spot on results. Again, 3 bits of airtime. There isn't any inversions, but because it's a launch coaster, you don't necessarily need it. Scenery rating very high. So yeah, let's hop on and enjoy speed with the next train. Let's go. Very, very good ride. I do like launch coasters that don't necessarily follow the traditional sort of top hat style that you see in a lot of the real life parks. So I'm thinking stuff like Stealth at Thorpe Park. You've got the Ferrari Land 1 at Portaventura. There's a few rides that normally do that, but to get a good layout like this for a launch coaster is really nice. The scenery over here is that sort of less is more feel. Like if you crowded this out, it wouldn't look as good, but with the terrain colouring and then the minimalistic scenery, it works really well. But I mean, definitely the highlight has to be going over this bridge here. I mean, the view as you look over this section, you know, and if you're a guest down here and you see, you know, and you hear, and you see the train coming over every couple of minutes, really, you know, really nice sort of vision and photo opportunity, should we say, if you were going around that section. Obviously, you've got a bit of a cave that's been sort of demolished or broken up there. But no, yeah, absolutely quality launch coaster there. So there you can see the train coming out. So let's just get up down to guest level down here, and you can see what I mean. If you were just like walking through, lot. The way it passes by and the water effects going off, everything just works so well in tandem. So yeah, that is speed. I love how many flowers there is on the side. There's so many colourful flowers just sort of patterned along the edge here. And then you've got the colourful wall. So we shall go underneath speed, and we are arriving at Buddha. So there we go. That is a purpose-built Buddha statue. Again, I applaud the imagination to build that from the shapes in the game. That's I mean, how many? I'd love to know how many pieces there are in that. 454. So there's got 500 shapes gone into making Buddha there. Down here you've got some on-ride photos and souvenirs. Souvenirs very popular. And you got Asia written into the flower bed there. But if you notice, it's again done in the same style of writing. So you've got like a sort of flick on the A and a flick on the A over there. Really, you know, it's really nice to see it sort of continuous through the park. So yeah, we shall take a ride on Buddha. So that's the entrance for it. Buddha, I am told, should be ridden at 1 PM. So we'll go back to 1 PM. So here we are. Again, very cleverly hid the cylinders. You've got one in there and one in the rocks, but it just makes it look better when the cylinders aren't there. You can theme them into a style, but if you're going for this, you know, if you're going for this sort of style coaster, then yeah, definitely works hiding them. So you've got a bit of a rope cattle pen queue line here. Nice bit of trees and decoration there. Let's fly up the queue. More cattle pen queuing. There's a fast pass as well at the side. And then the queue line changes, the flooring does. And we are at the top. And this is the station. Very nice use of these poles and the lighting there. There's a lot of colours and decoration going off, but that's why it works with the orange and the white theme. It's like orange, white, and brown, and it all kind of comes together really well. Especially, I love this bit of decoration there. These pieces. These are all bespoke. So using swords along with these wooden brackets there and ladders. And it all kind of comes together. So if you look at it from the outside, it all just comes together really well. Really like that. So this is Buddha hybrid coaster. There's the stats for it, and I mean they're very high stats. Again, it's almost borderline green across the board. There's the other stats for it. So if we go down, we have 2 inversions and 2 airtime moments. So yeah, we'll hop in and we shall ride Buddha. Very good. I do love hybrid coasters. I think they look. I think they do look very nice. The track layout is, the mixture of wood and metal, just works really well. And the colour scheme there, that is the coaster as a whole. You can see there the footprint of it just looks fantastic. And what I like as well is the sort of extra terrain. Scenery that you don't necessarily pick up at first. So you got like this waterfall down here, you got this one up here, and then there's even this pool up here with a small waterfall. Now, if you're thinking about just the guests themselves won't ever see this. This little section up here, you can see it's hidden away. But just from when you look at it from the outside, it just makes it look really nice. Obviously, that is flowing into that waterfall, and that. Again, it's just another way of making it look realistic as opposed to the water just coming from nowhere, really. So yeah, love that. There was a little bit of a wait up here, but I'm not sure of a way to kind of avoid that, really, using the block brakes, because otherwise you'd have to slow the train down at some point. But as you can see there, the train's going up, and this one's still got half the track to go. But I mean, the track itself is fantastic. And then he's even built a switch track here. He's even built a switch track for the realism of, if you were taking vehicles off, if you were taking a train off, obviously in real life that would switch over. Unfortunately, you can't do that in the game. But to line it up as well, because obviously you've got the metal bars coming across. To line that up as well, it again, it just looks super realistic, especially with the catwalk at the side. So yeah, that's the second main attraction of the park. At the front here, we've got the Asia Park Star Wheel, which, I mean, you can see there, is just going to give you views of the park all over the place. It's sat right on the lake. Got a nice flower bed going around it. Very, very nicely decorated queue line. I mean, I'm a big fan of using the hedge as a wall anyway. But yeah, very nicely decorated, and again, the colour scheme just blends through. So look at this area at night time. See what it looks like. So there we are. So whereas we had like a pinky purpley tint over here, this one has got more of a gold kind of theme to it. You know, and it's all about getting that lighting right, not overdoing it, but lighting up the areas that need to be. I mean, the queue line is obviously all very, very well lit for guests to go on, and then you've got the bits of flowering, and even these spotlights on the sign up there, like Asia Park. So let's continue on. Let's flick back to daytime for now, and we have Pagoda, Flying Pagoda, which is one of these Sky Temple rides. So yeah, I mean, this is, you know, if you were going to build an Asian style park, this would be straight away a ride you'd put in, just because of the way it looks, you know, as standard. I know when I built my sort of Lakeside Adventure Park, which was a, world section, I put this in my China section, just because of, just how well it easily blends in. So yeah, the very nice ride, and very unique looking queue line. I've not seen this done before, but it works quite well. You don't want a massive queue for something like this, but that sort of style, and then you've got the little roofs here, just works really well. Again, we've got more food outlets and seating areas, and the fact that they're in the middle of a plaza as well, and you can either walk by and just grab a table or carry on, just works. It just looks really nice, and it looks really realistic as well. And it's got an exit only sign on the path. It's all those little details that you sort of appreciate. The speaker coming out the rocks there. So over here we have some more shops, and again some lakeside sort of seating. Very fancy toilet block. That's a very fancy toilet block, and a staff only building. Just having it's got these utility buildings in here, and again you've got this sort of staff section at the back with the dumpsters that guests are never going to get. They're never going to be allowed to go to, because the fencing joins up to the base of the Flying Pagoda. Sorry. Again, it's just that extra bit of detail, isn't it? And coming down here, we have, again, we've got a very nice scenic sign here with the waterfall as a backdrop. Very again, it's consistency with the signage. Very, it just works having that printed throughout rather than mixing it up for every area. We've got a teacups ride in here with a couple of guests on here. I found there wasn't many guests going on the teacups, and this one doesn't seem to be packed either. I'm not sure if it's the teacups themselves or what, but yeah, very, very nicely decorated to have that, have the circular building going around it. I think it looks, does look really nice. And then you have got down here, that's the entrance to the log flume, I believe. I think it is. So this is the third major attraction, and I believe from speaking to him that 11 AM is the best time to ride this. So let's flick back to 11 AM and we shall go and ride on Mount Fuji, which is a very tidy. You see what I mean here about the cylinders? These are the cylinders I'm talking about, but this, they're sometimes hard to blend in, and it's, but when they are blended in, they do look very you know, the entrance does look a lot more authentic. You know, it'd be nice if there was an option when building a queue line that you could take them off. For me personally, but you know, that's just my opinion. But very nice little queue line here. From going right all the way around this building on this rope path through here. Oh, he's just gone through here. So you've got a cattle pen queue line. I'm not going to go in and out of all that because I'll be here all day. Some dragons and lions as decoration. A nice little bridge going over the log flume. That's a nice little element there. And then down here you've got more of a queue line around this bamboo. No, it's not bamboo trees. What am I on about? What's it called? I want to get the name of this tree right now. Like the climbing roses tree. Don't know why I said bamboo. But yeah, the climbing roses tree here. This like pinky tree looks. That's got a very sort of Asian style theme to it. This is the sort of tree you'd see in that area of the world. So again, using that in this park is definitely the right move. This guy's about to get on with his skeleton mask. Looks like he's going to enjoy it. Oh, I've kind of come up the building now. Right, so Mount Fuji. There's the stats for it. Now, I don't normally ride log flumes. However, looking at how well themed this log flume is, I am going to ride this one. So I'm going to make an exception just because of how well themed it is. If a log flume has got loads of theming around for you to see, it's worth looking on. But we shall go back to one in the station. If I can find one in the station. Here we go. I think that's the one that's just left. Yeah, this is the one that's just left. So this is Mount Fuji. And there we go. That is Mount Fuji. One of the best log flumes I've seen on this game. You know, I always say, you know, annoyingly you've got to cover almost every inch of the track to make it not look like it's just riding in a plastic tube, which is what it is doing. You know, you really do have to theme it, and when you do, it pays off because it looks like this. You know, it just looks fantastic. And you know, I mean, the view as you come down this drop here, you know, this is the sort of design you would get in a normal park. You'd have people sort of stood watching here. He's even got the lifeboat, the life ring here. But yeah, you may have people stood at the side watching. So you've got a nice little viewing gallery here on the end, just seeing boats come down. You know, and I'm sure you heard the sounds there. There's lots of there's lots of authentic sounds coming from here as well. The whole thing is just sort of themed so perfectly to the ride. Yeah, absolutely love that. And we shall just take a look at that at night time, just to show what this looks like. So this is more sort of, whereas the other two sort of stand out as pink and gold, and then you've got white over here. This is sort of like, the lighting here is more subtle. You've got all these lamps on the top of here. You've got lights on the side of the log flume with the fountains, and then you've got the lamps on the building. So rather than using like lampposts all the time, a lot of it is a lot of the lighting is very sort of dimmed. But again, it just works really well. And then you've got the spotlights down here on the sign, which look really good. So we shall continue around here. Some vending machines, and as I say, you've got a viewing area for the bottom of the log flume. And there's a little bridge there to get to that section. Asia Park. You've got a carousel. Got Venetian carousel here. Again, these are really nicely. I always like trying to put the queue line in a circle around the carousel ride, because it's a nice way of sort of tucking everything in out the way. A really nice use of the building here to just decorate the top so it doesn't look too much like a traditional carousel. You know, has that sort of Asian style building theming around it. And that, I believe, we're back at the start there. That's back at Bonsai that we looked at the start. So that is Asia Park. Again, another fantastic creation from NH99. The realism is there, as you've seen. There's so much detail. The lighting and the sounds do look and sound perfect for each area. And yeah, I hope you did enjoy that. If you have got any parks you would like me to look at yourself, then please let me know in the comments below. Happy to look at anyone's park if they would like me to. If you have enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And other than that, I shall see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.